Hello and good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for attending our webinar today. My name is Dan Holzen, and I am with EHTC, and we are kicking off our campaign focused around elevating customer experience. And this is a series of webinars and content that EHTC is providing, focused really around elevating the customer experience. And our guest today and primary presenter is Steve Hasse from Hubspot. Hubspot is an inbound marketing company. They are a web hoster, and we utilize their services to host our website. So Steve will be presenting the latest strategies on inbound marketing.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everyone.
Thanks, Steve. So today's consumer, I just want to set the stage here. Today's consumer, we like to call as a very empowered consumer. If you go shopping today at any store, you see people not just interacting with people in the store, but they're interacting on their smartphones, their smart devices. They're engaging with business in a completely different manner. And you see the lady here holding her iPad. That's essentially how I shop today. I use a service from a local store here, Meijer, which provides me an app that gives me updates on what's new and latest on sale and all kinds of specials that they have. And shopping is just not done without a smart device in our household anymore. So today's customer is ultimately much more empowered. They have many more options in the marketplace. They have a much louder voice, and really the overall selling experience, the sales process is very leveraged towards the customer. And we see this in all businesses, all different industries. And what we find, our customers are looking to focus much more on building and engaging with customers in many new ways. We can hit the slide there, Steve. And one of the primary ways that organizations and businesses look to manage those relationships and engage differently with customers is through customer relationship management software, or CRM software. And that is a solution that our firm specializes in. We work with organizations and businesses to develop an overall customer relationship management strategy. But the software essentially allows you to engage and utilize various tools that can assist in marketing, sales, customer support, and order management. So with that said, a big portion of customer relationship management is the marketing component. And that's what we're going to focus on today, is how organizations are using marketing to engage with their customers. And so I'm going to turn it over to Steve, and we are going to focus on these latest strategies to assist in marketing.
Thank you very much, Dan. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Steve Hasse, and I am an inbound marketing consultant with Hubspot. What that means is when somebody purchases our software platform, which I'll be sharing a little bit about what the software actually does, it's basically a suite of inbound marketing tools. When someone purchases our software, I help them put it to use, gain results from the software. And my focus is actually on e-commerce. I'm the e-commerce IMC. And so today I'm going to speak to you about inbound marketing strategies, and hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A at the end and even be able to wrap things up in about an hour. So tall order, but that's what we're going to be aiming for today. A little bit about HubSpot. We've been in business since 2007, and we have really employed inbound marketing to grow our reach, to grow our customer base. We're currently, as it says there, around 8,500 customers. We have 4 million free users of our services, and we generate about 60,000 new leads per month. So inbound marketing certainly has worked for us, and it is what our software helps people do. It's the methodology that we have used to grow our business over the years. So a brief overview of the agenda. We're going to start with some inbound marketing basics, cover what exactly we're talking about when we say inbound marketing, and then go into some strategy, tactics, examples, and then, as I said, hopefully have some time for Q&A at the end. Marketing has changed. It used to be pretty simple. You get your word out there, you use it like a megaphone, get in front of people, interrupt what they're doing, get in front of those eyeballs, and let everybody know what you're up to. Doesn't work anymore. People are better than ever about blocking out your message. They're TiVoing through the commercials, they're throwing away the direct mail, they're unsubscribing from spam emails, and everyone says, don't call me. So what you need to do is use the new marketing playbook. That means being in front of people when they're looking for what you have to offer. That means making sure your site is optimized for search, making sure you're there on their social networks. You're blogging, you're providing good content. Your email marketing is quality, it's helpful, it's useful. Lead nurturing, social CRM, as Dan was speaking about. All these different ways. These are all part of the new marketing playbook, which we're going to be exploring today. As I said, go where people are. Where are people? They're on the internet. We have research from Google and Compete. 71% of B2B buyers get their information from the internet. No surprise there. We're listening on the internet right now. And what's cool about that for smaller businesses is inbound favors brains over budget. You don't have to have a wallet full of cash to do inbound well. Now here's some data from a survey that we did called the State of Inbound, the State of Inbound Marketing. This survey done in 2012, so the data is pretty recent. A lot of interesting stuff. I'll go through the data pretty quickly though, because I have a lot of slides to share with you. First one here, inbound leads are cheaper, less expensive than outbound by 61%. Trade shows rank most expensive, blogs ranked least expensive. Again, outbound versus inbound. An anecdote here, basically doing expensive things with low ROI, trade shows being one example. Another one, a kind of direct marketing piece, no response at all. Companies are doubling down on inbound, either maintaining or increasing their inbound budgets by a vast majority. Why? Because it works. Basically, past success is the biggest reason to increase the budget. And if you're decreasing, the people who say they're doing that is because of the economy. Once again, small business versus big business levels the playing field. You're able to generate leads much more cost efficiently using inbound marketing, so no surprise that smaller businesses would be investing in it. And it converts leads into customers. This is based on a sample of 1,000 HubSpot customers, and we see that 15% of the customers are closing through the channel of search, and same with direct traffic, referrals, paid search, social media, and outbound actually being the smallest percentage of customers closed. So here's how it works. There's a three-step process. The first is to get found. The second is to convert those visitors who found you. The third is to analyze and see what's working. We're going to dive into each of these separately, put them all together at the end, and focus on each one individually, really dive deep. Let's start with get found. Blogging. Why should you blog? Number one, to build a marketing asset. Number two, to fuel the inbound marketing machine. Number three, to build thought leadership and trust. So what does it mean to build your marketing asset? Well, basically, publish everything. put it all up online. Your videos, your podcasts, your blog posts, product updates, photos. Get it all up there. Because what you're going to be doing is serving your target market. Create things that are valuable and relevant and will really make your personas the heroes. Here we have a couple of HubSpot customers who have actually created life-size cardboard cutouts of their personas, just to really hammer home the idea that they are serving this market segment. That's the people they're focusing on. That's why they're creating this content. That's why they're becoming the thought leadership source in their marketplace. How can you do this? Get into the content mindset. A lot of people say, I don't have time for blogging. I don't have time to create all this content. The fact is, if you just change your mindset, you'll find it's everywhere. It's all around you. You're already doing it. You just aren't transferring it onto the content for your site yet. So take your emails, turn them into blog posts. Take posts in the forums, turn those into blog posts. Grab videos from events, interview your customers, put that on your blog. Company data, turn it into public reports, studies, examples, use cases, and share the lessons that you learn. Basically an endless number of ways to take your company data and turn it into valuable content for your marketplace. And what that allows you to do is fuel your entire inbound marketing machine. That means you take this content and you can use it, starting from the left, use it for optimizing your website for search. We're going to go into what each of these actually means. We're going to dive into them. Use it for social media. Spread that content on the social networks. Share it for landing page offers that convert visitors into leads. And use it in your email marketing. Share it with your lead nurturing. Keep the customers in your database, the prospects in your database, keep them warm using the content that you're creating. Here are some examples. HubSpot customer SiteX. They do uniform linen cleaning, that sort of thing. They wrote a blog post about employee uniform cleaning. When somebody types that in, they come up number one. This blog post actually is what appears at the top. Similarly, for restaurant linen cleaning, both fantastic keywords for this business. Comes up number 8, and this is a blog post that they created. And as you can imagine, that drives traffic and converts leads for SiteX. A couple blogging mistakes that I see a lot of my customers make and that I help them fix. Using a free service. Basically, when you're blogging on someone else's top-level domain, such as blogspot.com, wordpress.com, you're giving them the SEO credit, and you're not getting that credit. Blog on your own domain, blog.sitexcorp.com or sitexcorp.com/blog. You could even use a secondary domain. I don't recommend that as strongly, but if that's the only option, then that would work as well. Some more stats. Blogging is very common these days, especially with businesses. 70% blogging at least weekly. And actually, the more you blog, the more customers you will acquire through that channel. Might be a chicken and egg question, because if you're blogging, then you will have people who are reading your blog and your customers will be there. But it certainly does contribute to customer acquisition. That's certainly the case for us at HubSpot as well. And many companies are actually citing their blogs as saying it's a critical or important channel, with blogs leading the way. Now, blogging is closely tied to search engine optimization. It's not just about engaging your marketplace. It's also about making your site easier to find, as we saw with the SiteX examples. So let's talk about SEO. What are we actually talking about here? There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of theory, a lot of in-depth ideas about how it's supposed to work. But there's some very simple basics that if you understand them and put them to use, you can get a lot of bang for your buck. So let's start with the basics. Paid search results versus organic search results. When you type in a search, here we have one for inbound marketing. The paid results are on the top in the yellow and along the side on the white. Pretty basic, but good to be clear on these things. The organic results are underneath. As you can see, HubSpot ranks for 3 out of the 4 top results, with the first one being Wikipedia, which will pretty much be number 1 for anything you type in. And so we have number 2 with our blog, number 3 for our free resources hub, and number 4, it's a secondary URL. It offers free training. So we are owning that term, which is where you want to be for organic search. Organic is better. Number 1, you don't have to pay for it, at least not directly. We'll talk about that in a bit. You get more traffic. 80% of the clicks on the search result page go to organic results. Generally, the people who click on those links are more educated about what they're looking for, and they last longer. With paid search, as soon as you stop paying, you stop getting that search. With organic, it's going to last long after you publish those posts. Now with SEO, it's all about keywords. You got to be smart with your keywords. Be like that little ninja there. See, he's very smart. Number 1, you want to see where is the search volume? Where are people looking? What's going to give me the best results for my efforts? Make sure it's relevant to your business. You might be able to drive a lot of traffic, but if it's not going to be good targeted traffic, don't bother. And number 3, don't go up against the biggest people in your field. Pick something that you can get. For instance, if you go up after uniforms, it's going to be hard to get that because a lot of people might be going after it, and it might not even be all that relevant for your business. But if you say medical uniform rentals, now we're getting specific. That's going to be more valuable traffic. Even though it might be less traffic, it's going to be better traffic. And to make it even easier for you to rank, focus it on your local area. Now, there have recently been some updates to the Google algorithms that actually, if something is relevant as a local business, you will rank higher if you are a local business from where someone is searching. So Google is customizing search results more and more. But that doesn't mean you can't boost your results a little bit as well by including your local area and the areas that you want to target in the content that you're creating, in the keywords that you're using. Now this is really interesting. A lot of people miss this one and don't understand the importance of it. The things that you do on your website account for 25% of the SEO credit that Google gives you. 75% are factors that happen off of your website. And that makes sense because if a majority of the factors were on your website, all you'd need to do is just create a great website. Didn't matter if it was actually good or popular or if anyone knew about it or if it was useful or helpful. You just fill it full of keywords and then you'd rank. Google got wise to that early on, so now it's off-site factors. What are we actually talking about with these two? Let's start with on-page. Even though it's only 25%, it's still crucially important because otherwise Google won't actually know what your site is about. So let's cover the basics. You must optimize the following 4 points, and I'm actually going to add another one to this. The top one is page title. Make sure you have your keywords in your page title. As you can see, it's the top of your browser window there. That's the page title. Optimize the URL. Make sure your keywords are in your URL. So if you have keywords in your top-level domain, that is fantastic. If you only have them in the slug, the keyword section after the URL section after the top-level domain, that's great too. The earlier the better as far as the URL. You know, the closest to the top-level domain, the farther left your keywords, the stronger it's going to be. Make sure that the headings and text on your page include your keywords, and that your keywords are also in your meta description. The meta description is what people see when they see your search result on the search engine page. One thing I want to add here is including your keywords in the image alt text is a powerful placement as well. Google doesn't know what your image actually looks like because it doesn't have eyes, so it looks to the alt text to see, well, what is this image actually about? So use that space to tell Google what your image is about and use your keywords there. Off-page. Once again, this is far more important than on-page. Basically, we're talking about inbound links. That's whose site is linking to you and what do they say in the words that they're linking to you in. That's called the anchor text. So if you have a link from Joe's blog and the link is sitexcorp.com, that's okay. It's good. That means someone out there knows who you are. Google will see that and give you some credit. If Joe's blog links to you with the term SiteX medical apparel, then when people are looking for medical apparel, it's going to be an even stronger signal that this is a relevant site for that term. Now, if CNN links to you for the term SiteX medical apparel, that is a big win. There's nothing better than that. When a highly authoritative site links into your site, that is the secret weapon when it comes to SEO. So focus on creating great content that big, important sites that a lot of people go to will link to simply because it's relevant, it's interesting, it's informative, it's helpful. That's going to do more for your SEO than anything else you could do. One other thing I want to mention is social media plays into this as well. So the more social traffic, the more people who are linking to your site from Google+, from Facebook, from Twitter, from LinkedIn, and the more traffic that's coming to your site from those sources, that will also increase your search results in addition to simply driving traffic to your site via those channels. So how do you get more links? As I just said, have something good. Have something worth linking to. We created this blog post in April 2012 called The Ultimate Facebook Marketing Cheat Sheet. Sounds interesting, sounds engaging. Well, we got 1,700 inbound links from that post. That is valuable stuff. Social media. We'll touch on this real quick. What's it for? 4 different ways we can use it. One is marketing, lead generation. So we're actually sharing content and driving traffic to a landing page and converting that traffic into leads. Second is content creation. We can use social media, get some ideas, see what people are talking about, see what people are interested in, and share that content on those sites. Nurturing the community. Becoming friends with people, helping them out, seeing what they're asking about and answering those questions. And also a powerful use case is customer service. Support. Monitor your brand name. Monitor keywords in your field. If people are having an issue with your company and they're saying things about you on social networks, being able to respond to them and help them out quickly and in a public setting is very powerful. That does as much for customer loyalty as even having a smooth track record, because no business is going to have a perfectly smooth record. So when people voice their frustrations, especially if it's public, if you're able to respond, that's going to increase loyalty and appreciation. They might even become an evangelist for you. Social media and blogs generate real customers. Again, with the state of inbound marketing, 57% of channel users of people who have a company blog acquired a customer through that channel, 62% through LinkedIn, 52% through Facebook, 44% even acquired customers through Twitter. For B2C, Facebook is more effective. For B2B, LinkedIn is more effective. I'm a big fan of testing. You got to see what actually works for you. And here's just a story from somebody in the manufacturing industry, 200 to 500 employee company, saying that social media, blogging, and the ownership really getting behind inbound marketing has been the best thing they've done to actually drive leads and sales. Some tips on social media. Listen, share, be human. So once again, listen to what people are saying about you, your competitors, their problems. See who's actually out there talking. Is it your customers? Is it prospects? Is it competitors? Connect with the thought leaders in your space. Listen deeply. See what's going on. And then share. Share your content, the stuff that you've been working on, your blog posts. That'll spread your reach. That'll get more people learning about you, coming to your site, seeing you as a thought leader. Start conversations. Ask questions of the people in your space. And share other people's resources. Be a curator of that content so that people will know you're a leader in the space. You're someone to go to if they have a question about what it is that you do. and be human. Don't use it as a megaphone. Don't just broadcast how great you are. Don't talk about, why everyone should buy from you today. Be human. Connect. Help people out. So that was how to get found. A quick overview, some examples. Now we're going to talk about, once you get found, how do you turn that traffic into leads in your database? Because ultimately, we want all of that effort that we're putting into inbound marketing to turn into real results. So how do we actually do that? Let's start with calls to action. The big question is, what am I supposed to do here? You see down on the bottom, they have 4 different next steps. Explore our solutions, explore the services, learn more about the ecosystem, discover why, and get the latest news from SAP. Again, what am I supposed to do here? This couldn't be more clear. Start quickly for free, add tools and resources, maintain and deliver with your online workspace. And so then what should I do? Well, I'm supposed to choose a plan and sign up. You see that big blue button? That's the key. So what makes a great call to action? Well, first, it's obvious. You see the big green button there, the big blue button over on the left. They're not hidden. They're action-oriented. You see under there it says, download ebook now. There's a great book called Don't Make Me Think. And that's exactly what you want to do with your calls to action. Someone comes to your site, they say, this is interesting. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to download their ebook. It's simple and clear. Let somebody know, what are we actually offering you? Here we say, 20 questions to ask when you have been in an accident. Find out now. If I want to be prepared for when that happens, I'm going to go download that. And they're targeted. So you see here the call to action at the bottom of this blog post. You drive traffic through your blog post and you give them a call to action to convert that traffic. We're saying, the Affordable Preservation Company, they're saying, have you completed all your post-wedding details? 30-plus item list to keep you on track. So this is extremely targeted to someone who's just gotten married. What do you do after the wedding? Very targeted. Once again, make it clear. What am I supposed to do on your site? The more clear you can make it, the more leads you'll convert. So you've driven that traffic. Where do you drive them to? Landing pages is where you drive them. So what is a landing page? What are we actually talking about? Basically, it allows you to convert anonymous traffic into leads with names, contact info, and interests. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I always give to my customers in the consulting process is don't just get the information. Get a critical piece of customer detail or prospect detail that will allow you to segment your list. We'll get to that in just a second, but if there's one piece of advice I can give you for your forms, for landing pages, for lead generation, it's to think of that one question that will help you segment your list in a powerful way. Kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I can't stress that enough. Great landing pages. Here's Affordable Preservation Company again. Clear and simple. Here's what you're going to get. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and do it. It's focused. You see there's no navigation on the site. All you can do on this page is register. There's value. What is it that I'm going to get? On this page, I'm going to get a free webinar. Here's what I'm going to learn. Register now. Once again, always answer, what's in it for me? Don't talk about yourself. Talk about what the person on that page is going to get by registering. It is a transaction. So just like in the sales process, you need to be clear. What's the benefit? Now that they're in your database, you can follow up. You can send them an email. Let's talk about email. Basically, everybody uses it. 1.4 billion users of email. It's extremely effective in achieving objectives. 5 different ways to use email. Probably many more, but here's 5 good ones. Sending out a newsletter. Sending out a dedicated email, a specific offer. lead nurturing email, following up with people after they've taken some kind of action, sending out an email on behalf of a partner, and a transactional email, asking someone to buy something, take some sort of action. Whatever it is you're sending, know the goal. Many people actually send very unfocused emails, so know exactly what it is you're trying to achieve. Here's some interesting stats. Good email is timely. Basically, the longer someone's been on your list, the lower the click-through rate of that list. This was from a study that HubSpot's Dan Zarella did on over, how many data points did he have? It was, I want to say 1 billion. I think he pulled from data from MailChimp that has an enormous amount of data. So this is some interesting tidbits coming up here. Relevant. Once again, if it's segmented, you will get 50% more clicks. Segment your database. Once again, the most important thing for improving relevancy, segmentation. Second most, allow people to specify their preferences, and goes down from there. Valuable. Don't send a big sales pitch in your email. Make sure that it's focused on the end user. It's something that you'd actually want to receive. When you get it, you say, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. If you're doing that, if that's the response on the other end, you're doing it right. Once again, keep it focused. Give a call to action. What do you want someone to do? If you're Zappos, you want someone to go buy your shoes. This is a good transactional email. Leverage the relationships. As you can see here, we have the a recognizable name that it's from. We have a little picture down in the bottom left, kind of building on that relationship. Different ways to connect with people. Follow me on the social networks. Share it on your social networks. Leverage those relationships. This is important. Don't use images for the whole thing, because otherwise if someone is looking at it in preview mode, if they haven't said okay to your images, they're not going to see anything. So make sure there's plenty of text. Use the alt text. Don't rely entirely on images. Optimize it for mobile. Everybody is reading email on their mobile devices. In fact, what we're seeing here, the science of email marketing, 80% report reading email on their mobile devices. And in the end, email should lead to action. Another interesting tidbit, the effectiveness of the day of the week on click-through rate. The most popular days to send email actually have the lowest click-through rate. Sundays and Saturdays have the highest, interestingly enough. The unsubscribe rate, a lot of people say send your email on a Tuesday. Tuesday is also the highest unsubscribe rate. So maybe try other days, see what happens. So those are just a couple of points on convert, how to convert that traffic once it comes to your site. So let's talk a little bit about analyze. Someone comes to your site, you've converted them into a lead. What are we actually looking for? How do we get better? How do we improve? How do we constantly move forward as marketers? First of all, don't look at every possible data point. It can make you crazy. Focus on a few simple metrics that you try to move each month. Here at HubSpot, we focus on visits, leads, and customers. That's what our software helps you look into. That's what we focus on as a company. Of course, we drill in different details to try to pull different levers, but fundamentally, these are the basics. Take a look at what channels are actually leading to your results. We segment by organic, referrals, email, social media, offline campaigns, other campaigns, direct traffic. So focus on the channel. And then ideally you'll be able to toggle between channel that's driving traffic and channels that's driving leads and channels that are driving customers. So you might find social media drives the most traffic, but actually referrals are what get the most leads. So let's focus on that if we're looking to really generate leads. It's important to set your targets and say this is what we're aiming for and measure regularly. A lot of the companies that I work with, they say, Steve, help me get more leads. You say, okay, well, how many? By what time? I don't know. I just want more leads. As with anything, it helps you focus your mind. It really helps you get clear on what it is you want to achieve and take action, if you set a clear goal and you measure against it regularly. So final thought before we go into Q&A. You have the tools. I encourage you to build the inbound marketing machine for growing your business. So I'd like to open it back up with Dan here. Get some Q&A either through the chat or through the audio. Dan?
Great. Thank you so much, Steve. That was very great, great content, a lot of things to consider. So I want to thank you for that. And Kristen has been watching the chat here. If you have a question, feel free to put that in the message area, and we'll address it. We have a couple here that she wants to get to. So, Kristen.
Okay. First one, Steve. What's a realistic time frame to start seeing results, such as daily leads?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. So what I've found is there's different time frames for different activities. Sometimes you'll find amazingly low-hanging fruit where if you put something in place, you can see results the day that it goes live. One example of that is lead generation. So if you don't have a targeted offer on your website on a landing page that you're driving traffic to via a call to action of some sort, you're probably missing out on a lot of leads. People are coming to your site, they're looking around, but they don't know what to do, and you haven't given them a compelling reason to become a lead, and so they're not gonna. They're not gonna fill out the Contact Us form unless they're actually ready to buy. 98% of the people who are on your site aren't ready to buy. So don't have the only conversion point be hey, are you ready to buy? So as far as timeline, if you can put together an ebook, a white paper, something really valuable and compelling for your audience, and then get that live on your site with a landing page, again, something that follows those best practices that I laid out, I've seen some of my customers have gotten results the day that's gone live.
Great. Here's the next question. I currently have Hubspot and CRM. Is there a way to link them so I don't have to manually enter my leads?
That is a good question, and a very important one, because as marketers, we want to focus on marketing. We want to actually do the stuff that's going to grow our brand, grow the leads database, convert those leads into customers. We don't want to be spending our time on schlepping data around. So that's extremely important to connect your lead generation system with your back-end customer relationship management system. With HubSpot, there is a way to do that. If you're a Salesforce user, we have a native integration that we support internally to link HubSpot and Salesforce with just a couple, about a 20, 30-minute process to put the whole thing in place. If you use a different CRM, we have a very open API so that someone on your team who's a developer can code that integration. We also have a network of partners who can create that integration as well.
Great.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned that people outside organizations linking to your site is very valuable. Mm-hmm. How do you determine what organizations are linked to your site? Is there a view in HubSpot that shows you that, or?
There is, yeah. There's a view in HubSpot that shows you inbound links. You just click on Link Grader inside the page performance area of HubSpot. Similarly, you can go to marketing.grader.com if you're not a HubSpot customer, and that, I believe, that has a full list of your inbound links as well. Or you can just Google inbound link grader or who's linking to my site. There are a number of services that will show where your inbound links are coming from.
Okay, great.
The next question that came in was, when we do a blog, should we put Grand Rapids, Michigan after the title? Will that help a CEO?
That's a good question. So you're saying when you write a blog post, should you include your location if that's what you're trying to rank for. Is that right?
Yeah.
So yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, because that will help your SEO, and no, because if you do it too much, it's going to get obnoxious, and it will feel like you're writing for the search engines rather than writing for your viewers. In the end, the best SEO is always written for the end user. Always keep your reader in mind, because again, it's those inbound links, it's that traffic, it's the activity to your site that the search engines look at as much as the actual content itself. So including your location data, that's kind of a weird way to say it, including, you know, the area you're trying to target in your title will help with that on-page SEO, and will let the search engines know, hey, we want people in Grand Rapids, Michigan to find us. But it's certainly, don't overdo it. And also an interesting thing, and this is a recent update to the Google algorithm, it's in the Venice update, is if your business is local relevant, like if it's relevant to a local searcher, Google will prioritize that over something that's not local. So if someone types in pharmacist and you're in Grand Rapids, you're going to see the Grand Rapids pharmacists before you see the one who may rank globally as #1, because it doesn't make sense to send you to a pharmacist in California if you're in Grand Rapids. Similarly, if you're looking to rank for local terms, there are a bunch of things that you can do as far as registering with Google Places. That would be one of the big things that I would recommend, is registering with Google Places, getting on Yelp, getting on other kind of local services where people might be looking for you, as well as the bigger search engines.
All right. Well, were there any questions your way, Steve, that came through?
Not on the chat pane. No, not yet.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending, and thank you especially, Steve, for providing us with this information. HubSpot has also provided us with a white paper called The State of Inbound Marketing, which is available on the HubSpot website. It's also available on EHTC's website, so if you're interested in downloading that. And also as part of the Elevate Customer Experience campaign, anyone who attended today's seminar will be registered to win an evening at Cygnus Restaurant in Grand Rapids. So I want to thank everyone again for attending. Thank you, Steve. And we will sign off until next time.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.